Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Fair Sports for today's Six Nations Round 2 Team of the Week. A very difficult one to pick because I think certain positions was very difficult to pick. I thought some very impressive performances in the middle row. Between the locks, I thought the loose forwards are pretty good and some very good performances by a lot of the wings. However, some positions I thought, I don't think there were too many standout fly halves this weekend, which is always a bit disappointing because it is a position when played well, it can be such a fun position to watch and really is a really cool position for players to, when they're really on top of their game, to just dictate the entire game. I thought they were pretty disappointing in terms of the fly-off standards. But yeah, so we'll get into the team of the week in just a moment. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner there. Smash a like on the video. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the Six Nations, so please do show your support and click the subscribe button. Right, so without any further ado, let's look at what we have. And that is what we have gone with. So, no Italian players. I thought probably the most standout player for Italy, there were two standout players. I thought Monty Ione shows that he's a very, very good wing. Lots of pace there, lots of talent. And also thought Stephen Varney, for the 19-year-old scrum off, such a big stage to try and flaunt his talents. He's actually coping pretty well. And I thought that he was definitely in the running as well. But in terms of the pack, we'll start there. Wyn Jones, the best loosehead prop in Britain at the moment, and just showed it again. Another monumental performance from him for Wales. Making 12 tackles, winning a turnover. He's just everywhere. So solid at scrum time. Just doesn't really move. In terms of hooker, I've gone with Luke Cowan-Dick. He came into the England starting lineup, and what a performance it was from him. He made 25 meters from 13 carries, the most by an English player, also making 4 tackles as well. I thought, I think Jamie George, it's going to be a very good competition between the two. I didn't think Jamie George was bad last weekend, but Luke Cowan-Dick made a huge statement this weekend. I think that's going to be quite interesting to see how those two sort of grapple for that starting berth as the tournament progresses. For tight head, you have to go with Carl Sinclair, man of the match for England, back in the starting line, didn't miss a tackle. Was very solid at scrum times. He made 22 meters across 12 carries. Played, I think, about 78 minutes. So, you can't, sort of 75 minutes. So that's massive for a prop. Really good to see him back on the field. A couple of people saying that maybe he didn't deserve to be back on the field, sort of being drafted right back in after his suspension. But, he did show his class, and you couldn't really argue too much against that. I did think Andrew Porter was pretty impressive for Ireland. He made 10 tackles, didn't miss one, got around the park as well. Probably a little bit lucky to miss out. And in terms of the locks, and as I said, this is where I thought the locks, it was quite difficult to choose. I thought both the Irish locks, Tabs Byrne and Ian Henderson, were very good. Bernard Leroux was pretty good for France, did get the yellow card though, so that was some points against him. Johnny Gray just doesn't miss tackles. He was immense for Scotland. Equally, Adam Beard I thought was very good for Wales. So I've gone with Johnny Gray and Paul Willemse. The reason there is I've gone Johnny Gray. He made 9 tackles, didn't miss one, and he made 10 carries, making 7 meters, beating one defender. He had a clean break as well. So yeah, I just thought that his all-round game was very impressive. And then Paul Willemse, I've gone just for the simple, immense defense he showed. 18 tackles he made across the game, not missing a single one. A 100% tackle success rate across 18 tackles. What more can you ask for from your lock, really? And the fact that the French defense was one of the main reasons that they won the game itself. You've got to look at somebody like him who made the most tackles in a huge defensive effort and just didn't miss a single one, Not always the most flashy player. He's big, he's bulky, not the quickest around the pitch, but he does not miss his tackles, and he brings an immense amount of physicality to a French side, which to a certain degree did outmuscle Ireland. Ireland just couldn't get past the French defense. They kept getting pushed further and further back. And then the loose trio. The loose trio was very, very tricky because I thought there was some very good performances. I thought Rhys Ruddock is probably unlucky to not be there. It really, really pained me to not put Charles Olivan on there. Scored a try, made 13 tackles for France as well, capturing the side. A very good effort by him. So I've gone with Hamish Watson and Tom Curry as the flank combination there. You look at Hamish Watson, another massive performance by him. 10 carries. On the defense, he made 18 tackles, didn't miss a single one, and won 2 turnovers. That's probably borderline one of the best performances of the week. And then in terms of Tom Curry, also a huge defensive effort. Yes, it's against Italy, but he made 12 carries, beating 3 defenders, making 18 meters, and making 20 tackles, missing 4, and winning a turnover as well. So another big game from the England number 7. And then for 8th man, I thought Billy van der Poel was much better than he was in the first week. I thought CJ Stander was very good as well, but it was really difficult to just not pick Gregory Alger. He was also immense for France. 12 tackles, none missed, a turnover 1, carried the ball up 14 times, making 28 meters, beating a defender. He's just part of the very physical and a very dominant pack of France. He is also he's sort of the go-to man. You think of the impact that Dwayne Vermeulen has for the Springboks, very, very similar. Greg Alger just played a terrific game, playing some fantastic rugby. Number 9, as I thought Stephen Varney played very well. I thought for England, Ben Youngs wasn't terrible, but I've gone with Antoine Dupont because I just thought that, I just think that he once again was just the best number 9 over the weekend, and it was sort of summed up by the fact that he won the turnover that eventually won them the game, and that just shows you he's got everything in his arsenal. A couple of the really good breaks from France came from his ingenuity. You can attacking wise, he doesn't make too many mistakes. Kicking is very, very good. He's just solid. And look, didn't have the best defensive effort. I think he missed sort of 6 of his 7 tackles, but all around, in terms of the way he navigated the game, I thought he was very impressive. And then making that turnover right at the end did give him a very big plus. And I thought Jamison Gibson-Park had some decent moments. Robson, when he came on, was pretty good for England. But it wasn't an amazing weekend for the scrum. I thought Eddie Price was pretty decent, but none that really sort of stood out for me. It's much the same as number 10. Matthew Yalabay gets the nod. Didn't kick particularly well. I think he needs to work on that. Finn Russell, I thought we saw glimpses of the Finn Russell that Scotland want to see more of. Dan Biggar for me was pretty average. Billy Burns had quite a poor game, I thought. George Ford was, I think, probably better than Owen Farrell was last weekend. Did bring a decent, a much sort of more secure performance at number 10 for England. And Paolo Gobizzi, look, he struggles at times, but he also shows some moments of brilliance, and that's why Italy are sort of sticking with him. So I think Jalabert just gets him for being the best of a worst bunch, really. And then for the wings, gone with Anthony Watson and Louis Rees-Zammit. You can't really argue that too much, I don't think. Anthony Watson scoring 2 tries. He made 114 meters across 7 carries, beating 6 defenders and making 2 clean breaks. That kind of says it all. Rees-Zammit, he was man of the match for Wales. He made 39 meters across 6 carries, scoring 2 tries, beating 1 defender, 2 clean breaks. Also, had a very, very defining kick where he managed to peg Scotland right back towards the end of the game. So for somebody of that age, being so young, and he just looks so comfortable at this level. And then for the centres, I've gone with Gael Fiku. 60th Test match looked brilliant. He just looked like a different class altogether. A really good pickup for the try itself. In terms of defence, he made 7 tackles, won 2 turnovers. He didn't miss a tackle. He also made 4 carries, beating a defender, was very solid in the midfield. And then an outside centre was probably one of the awesome positions I struggled to pick. I went with Owen Watkin, made a very important tackle against Johan van der Merwe, which probably saved them the match. I just thought that generally the outside centres were a little bit average. Henry Slade and Gary Ringrose were decent, tried hard. Ringrose had a lot of carries and tried to do different things, but just couldn't get himself over the line. Whereas I thought Owen Watkin he carried the ball 8 times. He made 11 tackles. He won a turnover. I thought he was just solid, and as I said, it wasn't a great weekend for outside centres. And then fullback, Stuart Hogg was very impressive. He scored 2 tries, 2 very, very good tries, which demonstrate the quality he is, but it was difficult to ignore the man of the match performance from Bryce Doolan. He just did everything right, really. He looks so comfortable, always looks like he's got time on the ball, always seems to be in the right position, even when he's not, makes it look so easy. Made 7 carries across the defence. He made 4 tackles, 2 turnovers, a brilliant all-round game, and a deserved man of the match. So that's what we've gone with. There will always be a couple of debates around certain positions, so let me know what you think of the team down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you soon.